There are moments when a story doesn't arrive with urgency, but with gravity. Not breaking news, not headlines, but reflection shaped by decades of watching human beings under pressure. When someone like Tom Brokaw, a journalist whose career spans generations, turns reflective, people listen differently. Not because he is revealing secrets, but because he has seen patterns repeat long enough to recognize them. This isn't about private conversations or undisclosed events. It's about perspective. Over a lifetime in journalism, you learn that how people respond to crisis often tells you more than the crisis itself. Watching Savannah Guthrie in recent public moments, many viewers have sensed something restrained, intentional, almost ceremonial in her composure. To a veteran observer, that restraint doesn't signal distance, it signals training. It signals a lifetime of learning how to stand upright when the ground feels unstable. Sometimes the most revealing truth isn't spoken directly. It lives in posture, cadence, and the discipline of not saying everything out loud. The inheritance of strength. Across generations, strength is rarely accidental. It is taught, modeled, reinforced, and rewarded long before it becomes visible to the world. In families shaped by hardship, resilience often becomes a value passed down like an heirloom. It is not framed as pressure, but as preparation. For someone like Savannah Guthrie, whose public life demands steadiness, that inheritance shows up as composure under scrutiny. The kind of composure that doesn't come from confidence alone, but from expectation. When a parent survives loss, responsibility, and adversity by refusing to break publicly, children learn that endurance is not optional. It becomes the language of love, the proof of capability. Observers who study these patterns understand that such upbringing produces adults who are extraordinarily reliable and extraordinarily hard on themselves. They don't collapse easily, but they also struggle to rest. They don't panic outwardly, but they carry the pressure inward. What looks like calm is often the result of decades spent learning that control equals safety. Why composure can look like distance. Public composure is often misunderstood. When a person speaks carefully, thanks people methodically, and structures their words with precision, audiences sometimes mistake that for emotional detachment. In reality, it is often the opposite. Careful speech usually means the speaker is holding something fragile together. Savannah Guthrie's delivery, measured and deliberate, reflects a deep respect for language and consequence. Words matter. Once released, they cannot be retrieved. People trained in law and journalism understand that instinctively. To speak only when prepared is not avoidance, it is discipline. But discipline can feel cold to those expecting visible emotion. What many viewers are responding to is not a lack of feeling, but the effort required to keep feeling from overwhelming function. Composure in this sense is not the absence of pain. It is the container built around it. The tighter the container, the more pressure it holds, unseen. The parent who never lost control. Some parents teach comfort, others teach survival. Neither approach is inherently cruel, but they shape children differently. When a parent faces life's hardest moments without visible collapse, children absorb that behavior as instruction. They learn that strength is demonstrated through action, not expression. Over time, this becomes internal law. You don't fall apart. You fix what you can. You move forward. That mindset produces adults who are highly competent and deeply reliable. It also produces adults who measure themselves relentlessly. For Savannah, this appears as an internal compass that always points toward control. Even when circumstances are emotionally destabilizing, the instinct is to stand tall, speak clearly, and manage the moment. To observers with decades of experience watching public figures, this pattern is recognizable. It's not performance, it's conditioning. The challenge comes when the situation demands vulnerability rather than management, and the person has never been taught how to exist comfortably in that space. When performance becomes identity. Over time, repeated behavior hardens into identity. The strong one becomes the strong one everywhere. At work, at home, in crisis, in calm. Savannah Guthrie's career has rewarded this identity. She is trusted because she is consistent. She is respected because she is prepared. But when performance and identity merge too tightly, stepping out of character feels dangerous. Vulnerability begins to feel like failure rather than honesty. For people raised under high expectations, the fear isn't public judgment. It's internal verdict. Am I still doing this right? Am I still worthy if I stop holding everything together? Observers who sense tension in Savannah's recent appearances may be responding to that internal conflict. The cost of always being capable is that capability becomes compulsory. You don't allow yourself to be human until the job is done. And some jobs, emotional ones, don't have clear endpoints. The silence between statements. Silence is not emptiness. Often, it is deliberation. When Savannah waits before speaking publicly, it reflects a belief that words should be purposeful, not reactive. This approach aligns with a lifetime of training that values precision over impulse. To some, silence reads as absence. To others, especially those familiar with leadership under pressure, it reads as restraint. Waiting until one can speak with clarity is a form of respect, both for the audience and for the subject at hand. But silence also carries weight. It can amplify public anxiety and invite interpretation. For someone conditioned to believe that speaking imperfectly is worse than not speaking at all, waiting becomes the safer option. The discipline to pause is admirable, but it can also isolate. The longer the silence, the heavier the expectations become. What began as control can slowly turn into burden, carried alone. The human cost of always holding the line. No one can remain in command forever without consequence. The body keeps score even when the face does not. Sleeplessness, fatigue, emotional compression. These are common among people who are perpetually responsible. Savannah's posture suggests someone operating on reserve, drawing from deeply ingrained discipline to maintain function. This is not weakness, it is endurance. But endurance has limits. Those who have spent decades in newsrooms recognize the signs. The eyes grow heavier, the pauses grow longer, the voice remains steady, but the effort behind it increases. This is the quiet toll of being the one who never breaks. The danger is not collapse in public, but the crash that comes afterward when the pressure finally releases. Without practice in vulnerability, that release can feel disorienting. Strength carried too long without rest stops being protection and starts becoming weight. What veteran journalists recognize. Instantly, people like Tom Brokaw have watched countless figures navigate public strain. They know the difference between confidence and conditioning. They know when calm is natural and when it is learned. Experience teaches you that the most controlled people are often the most burdened, not because they lack resilience, but because they were taught that resilience must be visible at all times. When such individuals face moments that cannot be solved through competence alone, the internal conflict becomes profound. Observers with long memories don't rush to label this bravery or stoicism. They recognize it as survival strategy, one that works until it doesn't. The wisdom of age isn't in exposing secrets, it's in naming patterns. And the pattern here is familiar. A capable woman carrying more than she lets on, because she was taught that letting go is not how you honor the people who raised you. The difference between strength and mercy. Strength gets you through crises. Mercy allows you to heal afterward. Many people are taught the first without ever being offered the second. Savannah Guthrie's public life reflects mastery of strength. What remains uncertain is whether she has been given permission, internally or externally, to extend mercy to herself. Mercy says you don't have to perform to be worthy. You don't have to manage everything to deserve care. You don't have to hold the line alone. For those raised under high standards, mercy can feel unfamiliar, even unsafe. Yet it is essential. Without it, strength becomes a test that never ends. Observers who feel unsettled watching Savannah may be responding to this imbalance, not concern for her competence, but concern for her capacity to rest. Strength is admirable. Mercy is necessary. One without the other leaves a person standing, but never truly supported, seeing the person beyond the role. At the end of the day, Savannah Guthrie is more than her role, her composure, or her public image. She is a human being shaped by family, responsibility, and a lifetime of expectations. When people look at her now and feel something ache, it's because they recognize that tension, the tension between who she has learned to be and who she is allowed to be. Veteran voices remind us that behind every polished delivery is a private cost. This is not a story about failure or secrecy. It is a story about inheritance, endurance, and the quiet hope that strength does not have to be earned forever. Perhaps the most compassionate thing we can do as observers is to allow room for complexity, to hold respect for her discipline while wishing her rest, to admire her strength while hoping she one day feels free enough to set it down.